All right, this is your end of the year statistics project that covers chapter 10 and some concepts from chapter 9. This kind of takes the place of a big final exam or big test. You'll still have a very small quiz that just assesses you on a few things that are not in the project. But the overall project is due May 25th, so please write that on the front of your packet and make sure your first and last name is up here, because if you leave this packet somewhere, you're going to want to make sure that it's given back to you. Okay, so let's kind of go through how this project works. If you open up to the first page, what you want to do is come up with a statistical question. So a specific question, and remember, if it's statistical, that means you're going to get more than one answer, because what you want to do is collect some data here. So this could be a survey question that you're going to ask people and collect answers from. This could be something where maybe you're taking measurements or experiments and collecting the data that way. It could even be something that you're researching the answers to. Either way, that would work. And then you're just going to write your question there, and under part B, it says to identify your population. So that's the people you're going to ask, and then what your sample size will be. So that's how many people you're going to ask. A good research question, you're going to end up with about 30 data points. But as long as you have 10, we'll call that okay. But the more data values you have, the better results you're going to get. And then down here, it asks for a parent or guardian signature. And on this part, the reason you have to get a parent or guardian signature is because this is a huge portion of your final grade. It's 75 points, and it's going in as a test grade. So I just want your parents to be aware that if you don't complete this project, it's really difficult to pass the class because it has such an effect. But it's also, if you complete the project, more than likely you're going to do well, because a lot of this is just completing it and doing the work. So it's also a way to show your parents that, hey, this is a really good way for me to raise my final grade as well. Okay, well, let's look at the next part. Part C. This part is where you're going to gather your responses or collect your data. So this is just saying, hey, go out and get your answers, go ask your question, or take your measurements or whatever you need to do, and just record those answers somewhere, and you'll just attach that to this packet. Once you have done all of that, you're going to take all your data and you're going to find the mean, median, mode, and range, and you can just record those answers down here and show your work here as well. All right, and then part E is the big bulk of this project, and this is where you're creating the 4 graphs or data displays. You're going to make a dot plot, a stem and leaf plot, a histogram, and a box plot. So we're spending this week learning about some of these that we haven't learned yet. You are going to attach them to this paper, so you could make them nice, big, beautiful, neat on just plain copy paper or graph paper. Sometimes I have some people that just put all 4 of them on one big poster board, whatever you prefer to do. They cannot be computer generated though, because I want to make sure you can do them and you can make them from scratch. I don't want to see that the computer can. And then the last thing you're going to do is write about what you did and what your results were. So you're just going to write kind of just like a short paper, maybe a page or paragraph. And it seems like that may be a lot. How am I going to write that much about math? But once you've completed the project, the writing comes really easy, because you're just writing about what you did, what did you ask or what did you research, what did you find, maybe were there any outliers, what did you notice about your data displays or your graphs, what was the average value, those are the types of things you'll want to include. So as far as how you're going to be graded, 15 points comes from having a statistical question and collecting data. 40 points comes from the 4 graphs that you're creating. So as long as you create them and do them correctly, you're going to get the 40 points. And then lastly, the 20 points is the writing. So as long as you do the writing and I can tell that you understand what your results mean, you're going to get the 20 points. Okay, so now on the back you have a checklist. So this is going to be really important to refer to throughout this project because we have due dates as we move along. So you want to have your question written and you want to have your parents sign this by Wednesday, May 12th. And if I check in with you Wednesday and maybe you don't have your parent signature yet, but you're going to get it this weekend or whatever, just make sure you let me know what the situation is. The next on your checklist is collecting the data, and I'd like that done by Friday, May 14th. And again, if I check in with you on Friday and you're doing something that involves the community or whatever it is you need to do this weekend, you would just let me know that. The next part, once you've collected your data, you have until Thursday, May 20th, so just under a week to get all the graphs completed and make those all look really nice. There's a checklist here you can follow. And then that gives you Friday and the weekend then to work on writing your paper to have it done by Monday, May 24th. So then that means that the entire project is due Tuesday, May 25th. So that gives you that night or that day to kind of get everything finalized, ready to hand in. And then Wednesday, May 26th, we'll have some time if anybody wants to present what they did. Possibly I can offer extra credit for that. And then the 27th is our last day. And if I have you 7th or 8th hour, I won't see you on that last day. So the last day you'll have with me would be presentation day on May 26th.